Welcome back to a new Review Wednesday. I hope you all are doing well. Now, before beginning this Review Wednesday, there are a couple of things that I quickly want to say, so please bear with me. Now, from today onwards, the whole structure, the layout, and everything in which Review Wednesday was done is going to change completely. Now, I love my reviews to be as informative and as exhaustive as they can be for you, but I also like to take into consideration a lot of things that you give back to me. So, constructive criticism, opinions, and ways in which I can better myself and my videos is something I constantly look forward to, and I was thinking about this since a while, that how I can make my reviews to be better for you, especially when it comes to skincare. So I have decided to implement a couple of changes so that again my reviews are as beneficial and as informative as they can be for you, as I just said. So, and that's why today I'm going to be doing a review that I'm so excited to do, because this is such a different concept. I've not seen anyone do this till now. So we're going to be testing out a dupe side by side for a whole month to see if they're truly dupes or not. So on my right side we have the Dermaco 10% Niacinamide plus Zinc Serum, and on my left side we have the Ordinary Niacinamide and Zinc Serum. Now these products are said to be dupes of one another, but what happens a lot of times is that when we're testing a product one after the other, we truly cannot make out if they are dupes or not, because our skin is constantly changing, the weather keeps on changing, and just so much keeps on happening. So to make this as, transparent and as precise as possible, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be testing them out side by side, half face this one, half face this one, so that you can see if my skin is going through different things or it's just different in its performance and whatnot. And this was so fun to do. Do let me know if you'd like to see more reviews like this, where we can test out dupes side by side to see if they're truly dupes or not. But first we're going to talk a little bit about niacinamide, so we have information about what it is, if we even need it, and what does it do. So niacinamide is a form of vitamin B, particularly vitamin B3. It's an anti-inflammatory, so it's great for people who have sensitive skin, rosacea or acne, but please do patch test it before. Niacinamide does not react with a lot of skins, but again, patch testing is supremely important. Niacinamide is pretty balanced on the pH level, so it's great to repair your skin barrier and make sure it's not compromised. So if you've overexfoliated your skin or are using a face wash that's too stripping for your skin, niacinamide is the thing that you need in your life. Niacinamide also helps in just making sure that your pigmentation and acne scars fade out quicker and your active acne dies down quicker too. Another thing that niacinamide is great at is at layering with other actives. Because niacinamide is so balanced, it just ensures that the other active is not supremely harsh on the skin. So if you have an active that's too much for you, just layer it up with niacinamide and it would make it just a little bit more balanced, especially if you are using AHAs, retinols or anything of that sort. Now with vitamin C, there is a little bit of love-hate relationship, and you really want to ensure that what form of vitamin C you're going to be using with your niacinamides. Overall, niacinamides work really well with all other actives, and you can easily layer them up with different acids and actives. Let's start off the comparison by talking about the price, quantity and the availability. The Dermaco Niacinamide Serum retails for Rs. 5.99 and you get about 30 ml of product in there, and it's easily available across India on their own website. When we talk about the Ordinary Serum, it retails for about £5, which roughly converts to Rs. 500 or 550, and again you get about 30 ml of product in there. Now the Ordinary is available on online sites like Cult Beauty, which do ship to India. You can however grab these on different Instagram pages, authentic ones, but it will cost you more than Rs. 500 on there. Now packaging wise, both of these come in a very similar packaging, and both of them have very simple packaging as well. Now what I do like about the Dermaco, that they have the step number mentioned on all of their products, so you know exactly what order to put the product in and you're not confused about it. So this comes as step number 2, so it comes directly after cleansing your face. Comparing their claims, Dermaco says that it works on active acne, acne scarring, and it regulates sebum production. And the Ordinary claims to regulate sebum production and minimize pores. So we do have one similar claim and the others are completely different. Now let's do a quick talk through and breakdown of the ingredient list of both of these products, so we can talk about the good, bad and the ugly and see how similar or different they are to one another. Now ideally any ingredient list should be in a descending order, so the volume of the ingredient that does occupy the most amount in a product should be on top and the lowest should be on the bottom. India doesn't sadly have that law yet where you need to disclose it in that way, but we're gonna just wish that the ingredient list that the Dermaco has specified is in a descending order, and we're gonna follow the ingredient list that they have mentioned. Starting off with the Dermaco, the first ingredient in there is purified water, which of course is a base. It's just a bulking agent and what just makes up most of the product. The next ingredient is niacinamide, or the active that we want to be in there, vitamin B3. Then we have propylene glycol, which is a humectant, a solvent, emollient, and a preservative. Next up on our list, we have glycerin, which again is another humectant. On the fifth number, we have zinc PCA, which is an amalgamation of zinc and L-PCA. Zinc normalizes your sebum and it limits bad bacteria, and L-PCA, which is pyrrolidone carboxylic acid, helps in hydration of the skin. On the sixth number, we have diethylene glycol monoethyl ether, which is a solvent. Then we have phenoxyethanol, which is a preservative and a stabilizer. However, it can react with eczema or with sensitive skin. Then we have hydroxyethyl cellulose, which is a thickener, so it just gives body to the product. Another thickener we have on the list is xanthan gum. It also is a stabilizer. On the 10th number, we have citric acid, which is an antioxidant and an exfoliator. It's an AHA, so it evens out your skin. 11th on the list is perfume, which is basically fragrance. Then we have Diazolidine Urea, which is a formaldehyde releasing preservative. On our 11th number, we have ethyl oxyglycerine, which is a skin conditioner. It's antimicrobial and a preservative. On 14th number, we have sodium gluconate, which is a neutralizing agent. It's a pH regulator and a humectant. It also acts as a preservative. And last on the list, we have iodopropylene butyrcarbamate, which is a preservative. Now let's talk about the ingredients which are not so good and which makes the product very different from the ordinary one. These are ingredients which can potentially harm your skin. The first one has to be propylene glycol, which is a skin irritant even if it's used at 2%, and it's pretty high up on the list, so we don't really know the exact percentage, but it can be a potential skin irritant. Then we of course have perfume, which a lot of people have issues with. Personally, for me, perfumes haven't still reacted with my skin, but a lot of people say that perfumes show their effect in the longer run. So if your skin is supremely sensitive, you might want to stay away from this one as it does have perfume in there. The third questionable ingredient we have in there is Diazolidine Urea, which is a formaldehyde releasing preservative. Now it is known that formaldehyde can lead to a lot of skin allergies and skin issues and is not good for people who have eczema or very sensitive skin. So again, if you have eczema, sensitive skin, or even if you have normal skin and you are worried about formaldehyde as an ingredient, then again this product is going to be a no-no for you. And the last ingredient on the questionable list as well as in the actual ingredient list is iodopropylene butyrcarbamate, which again is a preservative. Now it's said that the usage of this should be under 0.1% or it can lead to allergies. Now I don't know the actual percentage of the preservative used in this product, but even at 0.1% it can be irritant to sensitive skin types or even normal skin types. The Dermaco serum is formulated without parabens and silicones. So now let's move on to the ordinary niacinamide serum, and the first ingredient again is aqua, which is the base of the product. The second ingredient we have in there is niacinamide or the vitamin B3. The third ingredient in there is pentylene glycol, which is a humectant and a preservative. Fourth on the list we have zinc PCA. Again, I've already talked about how zinc normalizes serum and limits bacteria. The fifth ingredient we have is dimethyl isosorbide, which is a solvent and it makes active ingredients function better. Sixth up on our list we have Tamarindus indica seed gum, which is an emulsifier and a stabilizer. Seventh on our list we have xanthan gum, again the thickening agent and a stabilizer. Seventh on our list we have isocetech 20, which is an emulsifying agent and a surfactant. Ninth on our list we have ethoxy D-glycol, which is also known as diethylene glycol monoethyl ether, which is also present in the Dermaco serum. It's a humectant and a solvent. 10th on our list we have phenoxyethanol, which is a preservative, and the last ingredient we have here is chlorphencin, which again is a preservative. When we talk about some mere ingredients in the ordinary serum, the first one has to be phenoxyethanol, which is a preservative, but its usage should be limited to about 1%. And the second one we have chlorphencin, which again is a preservative, and in leave-in products the usage should be only 0.3% and not more than that, as it can be an irritant. Now the ordinary one only claims to be fragrance free, but because we can't see parabens or silicones in the product, I would say that they're also free of parabens and silicones. So when we put the two ingredients list side by side, I do have to say that the ordinary ingredient list does look much more cleaner, less ingredients and less in skin irritants as well, because the Dermaco one has quite a few skin irritants and more worse skin irritants than the ordinary one. So if you have sensitive skin or if you're sensitive to perfume, then I would suggest you stick to the ordinary and not to the Dermaco one. Now let's talk about my experience. I'm going to take you through my day 1 and day 30 and how my opinions formulated and what I felt and everything, so you can see how these products actually worked on my skin and if there was any difference or not, and then we will sum up everything for you guys. So today is the 29th of August and I will start my experiment from today, and we will continue this for 2 weeks, and by the end of 2 weeks we will see if there's any difference on my skin or difference in the way these products perform, so that we can make out, if they are dupes or not. Now I do have to say we are starting with rather good skin. I don't feel like there's a lot I need to work on my skin for. I do have a couple of acne scars on both sides of my face, so that is perfect for this experiment actually, because we will be able to see if the niacinamide serums actually help with the acne scars. I also have dry patches on my jawline for some reason right now, and also on the corners of my nose. Again, perfect for this experiment. So on my right side I will be using the Dermaco, and on my left side I will be using the Ordinary, and I'm so excited for this experiment. The direction of usage on both of these is pretty similar. Use AM and PM and just pat it into the skin. Use 3 to 5 drops, and that's that. So I just unboxed my Dermaco serum, and sadly the pump of this one is slightly mal-manufactured. The glass is in the pump area, so I cannot squeeze it. So I'm just going to try and push it down and make it usable. We are back on track after that little speed breaker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a couple of drops of this one on my right hand, not on my left one, because on my left I'm going to take the Ordinary one. So I've taken about 3 drops and I'm just going to pat this into my skin. Now they said to massage it into the skin, but I like to pat my products in. And here we have the Ordinary serum, and again I'm just going to take a couple of drops of this one on my left hand this time. So I'm just taking a little bit of that, and again I'm just going to start patting this into my skin. So both of the serums are nicely applied and absorbed into the skin, and I will be doing this AM and PM for the next 2 weeks. So it's going to be exciting to see how these products perform on my skin. But I have to tell you a couple of differences right off the bat what I noticed. So the Dermaco one does have added fragrance to it, and the color is completely clear, while the Ordinary one does not have any added fragrance and is slightly cloudy when compared to the Dermaco one. Now the Ordinary one does recommend to top it off with a very thick and heavy and emollient moisturizer. So that's what I would be doing. I'm going to keep all of the other products in my routine pretty simple and non-active way, so that I can see how the niacinamide works and just see the difference and feel the difference on my skin. So yeah, I will see you at the end of 2 weeks now. I know I said I'll be back after 2 weeks, but after 2 weeks I couldn't really see a huge difference in my skin, so I thought I'll try this out for a whole month. So it's been a whole month, today's 29th of September, that I've been doing this experiment of half side of the Dermaco and half side of the Ordinary one, and this is what my skin looks like after a month of trying these niacinamides out. Now my skin has no skincare on right now. This is my bare skin. I've just washed it so you could see it in its raw glory that there is, but I have to quickly mention that please don't mind these 2 spots. Day before yesterday, my milia that I have right here decided to burst on its own, and now it's healing. It's flattened out, it's just healing. So we have a spot left right here, and I also got a breakout right here, and again it's healing. And that's the biggest difference that I saw between these 2 niacinamides. I did break out a little on my Dermaco side, but they took a lot longer in healing. The Ordinary side heals really quickly, and that's again the biggest difference, because when it comes to acne scarring and pigmentation, I still have all of the scarring almost on both sides. Again, I have a little lesser scarring on the Ordinary side than I have on the Dermaco side. So I feel like the Dermaco, while it is a 10% niacinamide, it's slightly slower in delivering what the Ordinary delivers. Now that you've seen my experience with the product, I want to quickly mention one thing, which is a very big con for the Ordinary one. Not that it's a deal breaker, but it is a very big con according to me. Now when we apply the Dermaco serum, it literally glides onto the skin. You can massage it, pat it in, and just play around with it. But when you apply the Ordinary serum, it tends to foam up. I think it's because of the surfactant in there. It tends to foam up, so you have to be very gentle. You can just swipe it across once or twice. If you massage it around, it will foam up, and it's not a very pleasant application. It does die down and get absorbed into your skin, but application wise I think it's not supremely pleasant. So that was a big bummer for me, and I was just like, why though? I also did a quick pH test, because niacinamide is pretty balanced on the pH scale, but for something to be pH balanced for your skin, it needs to be slightly acidic, because our skin is slightly acidic, so that there is no microbial growth going on in there. So something shouldn't be too neutral or too alkaline for your skin too, because that cannot be good for you. So when I tested both of these, thankfully both of them came out to be more acidic in nature, so it's great for your skin. I think that happened because of zinc being in there, as zinc is slightly towards acidic in the pH level. Also, the Dermaco one has citric acid in there, which is an AHA, which would again make it more acidic in nature than the Ordinary one. Now, the other things I want to quickly talk about are texture and fragrance. I've already mentioned that the Ordinary Serum is slightly thicker and cloudier than the Dermaco one. So if you like a lighter and thinner serum, you're gonna like the Dermaco one more. Fragrance wise, Dermaco does have a mild fragrance in there. It's not supremely overpowering, but yes, there is perfume in there, and perfume can include a lot more ingredients than mentioned on the packaging itself, because perfume in itself can have about 130 other ingredients. So yeah, that's a little bummer. Overall, if you talk about the performance, I did feel that the Ordinary does outperform the Dermaco one. It's quicker, and the way it performs on the skin is much more visible than the Dermaco one. In the end, if you're gonna ask me, is it a dupe? I would say it's not, because for a dupe to be a particular dupe, there should be some, one of the parameters that it meets. For me, the parameter has to be the texture is same, the performance is same, or the ingredients are pretty similar. Except niacinamide and water and zinc, I think the ingredients are not similar at all, and the irritants in the Dermaco one are really high. So there goes the ingredient list. When we talk about the texture, again, the texture is pretty different. While the Ordinary is thicker and cloudier, the Dermaco one is lighter and clearer. So there goes texture. And the last one, performance. The time that the Ordinary takes is much lesser than Dermaco. So there goes performance. So for me, according to me, it's not a dupe. And again, if you just want a good niacinamide serum and you don't really care about the speed you can do with it taking more days, then of course you can definitely go for Dermaco, because I also get that the availability of Dermaco is easier in India. But personally, I wasn't a huge fan of the Dermaco one. I felt like it's an okay serum. It didn't really do anything for me. However, I will definitely continue using the Ordinary one and see how it performs for my skin. And yes, that's going to be everything for today's Review Wednesday. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and hope you guys enjoyed this new format as well. Do let me know if you'd like to see more comparative reviews like these. I would love to do it for you guys. And I'll see you guys next time. Till then, take care. Bye.